The views expressed by our guests in the following video are solely the opinions of our guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and or opinions of the Ola 7 podcast show. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello guys, welcome to the Genius Kidz here on the Ola 7 podcast. I am your host Aisha Nyansunda. And on the Genius Kidz, every week, every Monday at 3 p.m., we bring you young talents, young minds, young trailblazers who are shaping the future with their extraordinary passions. And today is an exciting one because I am sitting with a junior parliamentarian. But she's not only that, she also wears a lot of hats. So I am with Shalom Chiwawa from Jameson High School. She's the Junior Minister of Justice, the founder of Voice of the Girl Child, outgoing Mayor of Kadoma 2024, outgoing Minister of Finance 2025, MP's Women's Quarter Sanyati D, Zimbabwe's United Nations Ambassador 2024 to 2025, Chairperson of Health and Education for Sanyati District, MP Proportional Representative in Junior Parliament, Junior Minister of Justice 2025, and the Speaker of Parliament. I hope I didn't leave anything out. Hey, Shalom. Welcome to the Genius Kidz.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much for coming all the way from Kadoma.
Yeah.
All right. I've said a lot, so many titles, so many hats that you're wearing, but beyond the titles, who is Shalom Chiwawa?
Beyond the titles, Shalom Chiwawa is just a very talkative young girl who has a lot of dreams. I've been dreaming since 6, and most of those dreams are coming to life right now. And one of them is this one, yeah.
Right.
So Shalom Chiwawa really likes to socialize with fellow peers, especially the girls. At a very young age, I wanted to make sure that my fellow girls are getting what they deserve. They're okay. If someone's crying, I have to make sure, why are they crying? Are they okay? What happened? So basically, that's Shalom. Yeah.
So from what I'm hearing, Shalom is an empathetic and sympathetic person. Right. And all those titles that screams leadership. When was the first time you realized that you have leadership qualities? Was it in primary school or it was later in high school when you realized, I could actually make this a thing?
Well, actually, it was in high school at Form 4 because before all of that, I was just a public speaker. I could just talk to people, stand up for people and all of that. And then at Form 4, I was like, no, let me do something about it. Yeah, that's when it was started.
All right. So talk to us about when it started in Form 4. How really did it happen? And what was like the first step that you took? Because you were already doing public speaking. That means you can argue your way out of anything or into anything, right?
Very true.
But at some point you had to do some good with your public speaking skills. So tell me, what was the first step that you took into whom you have become today?
Okay, so the first thing I did, I opened a club at my school and I called it Voice of the Girl Child. And then I later on registered it provincially and then nationally, and is now in more than 62 schools. So growing up, I really find a lot of girls saying, oh my God, even if I don't do anything, just sort of attracted to me. So I decided, no, why not use this talent, talk to other girls, collaborate with them, do something nice. Because through Voice of the Girl Child, we raise funds, right? And then we go into orphanages and then we give out those stuffs. We do life coaching, we do public speaking tournaments, and now basically we're doing public speaking coaching as well.
Wow, that is so interesting and wonderful. For such a young age, you are like definitely a genius kid. Okay, so talk to me about being a member of the Junior Parliament. You are now the Minister of Justice. You're also the Speaker of Parliament, and you have had so many other roles in Parliament. Can you tell me, like, what are some of the responsibilities that come with being an MP and being a minister, you know, sitting in the General Assembly?
Okay, first and foremost, I'm not the Speaker of Parliament. At school, I'm the Speaker of the House, which also means I'm a prefect.
Oh.
You will come for my head. I see you.
Okay, you Speaker of the House. That means you speak for the prefects.
Yeah.
Okay. tell me what does that role mean? Like when you say I speak for the prefects?
Well, it just operates the same as our parliament cabinet. At school, we also have the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Justice, and all of that. So they changed my role. I'm now the Speaker of the House since I know how to speak so well.
Okay.
Yeah. You just issue out the issues happening at school.
All right.
And the prefects club and also at school. So it's basically similar to junior parliament.
All right. Now talk to me about being the Junior Minister of Justice. That means you're like the Minister Ziambi of Junior Parliament.
Yeah.
What is your role? What is your job as the Junior Minister of Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so after all the MPs come together, right, or we are at a legislative event, after making our position paper and laying out our grievances, the problems we are facing, it's my duty to now speak to the senior ministers present, speak to the Speaker of the House on behalf of everyone. So apparently any session can't happen when I'm not around. So
that means you're very important.
Yeah, so that's my duty. I just lay the case for everyone.
All right. Speaking of the Junior Parliament, I asked you earlier before we started the show.
Yeah.
What is the role of the Junior Parliament? Because I've never understood why students sit around and discuss national issues. Because for me, it looks like from where I'm sitting, and I'm sitting from maybe a very ignorant point of view. It just looks like you guys come together and sit and you give each other titles and you talk about stuff, but nothing really happens. There's no action. There's no implementation of whatever that you guys discuss in Parliament as junior parliamentarians.
Yeah.
So can you just tell me, what is it that you guys do as the Junior Parliament?
Junior Parliament, first and foremost, it grooms leaders. Because when you become an MP, you are the center of attraction, even at school or even at home. They seek your decision, they seek your perspective. So it grooms you into a leader, because through Junior Parliament, you socialize with many big people, teaches you how to behave with people, teaches you to build connections, network, and also how to even dress when you are around a formal settlement. And then secondly, we lay out the issues affecting the youth, especially in schools. For example, I heard you say earlier, sometimes you don't see the change of what we really ask for. And the 30-second session, we asked for phones and they came. And this time there was a bonus in schools. We are receiving Starlinks because the people in rural areas, the junior MPs from there, they were complaining that, yes, we are learning and we are now living in a world of ICT, right? But we don't have internet connection and we cannot afford it. So that was a call to action. We now have Starlinks in all of those schools. Wow. We're going to receive a Starlink, which also means that a child deep down Zaka can now have access to computers. They can Google and also live up as a child living in Harare. So that's what we do. And then we also seek improvement in some of the policies. For example, right now we had this devastating issue in Kwazana, and then us as junior parliamentarians, we were asking that this 24-hour thing of looking for a child after 24 hours of missing is not really working out for us, because a lot of things are happening and we need action to be taken really quickly, and that's been taken into consideration right now. It might not happen after 2 days or a month, but then usually they really take in what we say to them, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, and change is a tedious process, right? Change takes time, and people are afraid of change, and that is a fact. Okay, I want to come back to some of the roles that you have had. Some of them you still have. The first one is you are the outgoing mayor of Kadoma 2024.
Yeah.
Tell me about your role as the mayor of Kadoma. What is it exactly that maybe you were doing? Or maybe let me ask this in a different way. What can you say was the highlight of your time as the mayor of Kadoma?
That was one of the most difficult posts for me, because you literally have everything in your hand. There is no decision that passes through your hand without your opinion being said. Actually, sometimes the whole house might say no, and when you say yes, it's a yes, and it wasn't really
It's
a nice
problem.
outcome. Yeah, but it really taught me so much as a leader, because you also have to consider what other people say. You have to meet them halfway and see where they're coming from for you to make a good decision. And I also got a chance to socialize and network with people in Kadoma. For example, I was one of the guest of honors at the Mayor's Chair Fund 2024. It's a Christmas funding that happens in Kadoma.
Yeah.
And I was also there, and all of the
Mixing and
cameras are
mingling.
new, yeah. And it was fun.
All
It
right.
was really fun.
And then you're also Minister of Finance, 2025.
Yes.
This is for your school. Or
Junior Parliament.
The junior parliament.
Yeah, I had 2 terms.
You had 2 terms
Yes.
as the Minister of Finance. Okay, talk to me about being Minister of Finance. What exactly is Junior Mtuli doing in Parliament?
It's not really as exciting as Kazembe, but yeah, you also, a parliament session doesn't also start without you saying anything, although it's just one sentence. You cater in decision making, like the finance, the annual budget for junior parliament and the youth. You're also supposed to attend that, and it's also compulsory. You're one of like the most important ministers, so you attend a lot of events. And yes, last year I did travel a lot, and it was really exciting. But yeah, you just fit in everywhere as the junior minister of finance.
All right. So, as the junior Minister of Finance, that means you are handling the junior parliament's budget, right? What does that look like? Are you responsible for who gets what? Like, for example, if let's say whoever is responsible, maybe the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, says junior parliament gets like maybe $100. Like, are you the one who then says $100 ichashanda zvakati nezvakati?
Not really. They just seek our opinion and ways in which they can enhance the budget. For example, I came up with this idea because last year it was free education for all. That was our motto. And we were like, in Zimbabwe, I had estimates, calculations of how much the tourism sector gets per year or per month, how much the education sector gets, how much the mining sector gets. I was like, and it summed up to $1 billion. And I was like, from those billions of dollars, can we just take 1% from the agricultural sector, 1% from the mining sector, 1% from the tourism sector? And it amounted to a lot of money. And I was like, can we just channel that to education? And if we do that, we can build orphanages, more schools, and more textbooks for kids. So you really just tell them what you're thinking, and the process, it goes to the top.
All right. And then you're also the MP women's quota for Sanyati district. Talk to me about representing Sanyati district in the women's quota.
You have to, as a women's quota MP, you have to attend a lot of feminine events, feminism support. For example, the breast cancer awareness campaigns, Day of the African Girl Child, just host events. Try to raise funds, give sanitary wear to the people in your constituency, and all of that is basically supporting the girl child, which I really love to do.
All right. And you're also Zimbabwe's United Nations Ambassador 2024 to 2025.
Yes.
I didn't even know that existed.
It does. It's for the kids. It mainly deals with the SDGs, if you know what that is.
I know about the Sustainable Development Goals. Yes, I do.
So at camp, we actually have a camp annually, and then you get to choose an SDG you go back home with and focus on that one. And then I chose SDG number 4, which is quality education for all, because I also support quality education for all as well. So It's similar to junior council and junior parliament. It's all about being groomed as a leader, hosting events, doing campaigns, and all of that. They are mostly similar. It's just leadership all the way.
Right. And you have so many other roles: the chairperson of health and education for Sanyata district, MP proportional representative in junior parliament, and the one that we have been talking about, being Minister of Justice. But we're not going to go into all that, otherwise this would be one lengthy talk. But I just want to know, how do you balance having all these roles? Because you have to show up to events, you have to go to parliament sessions, you have your schoolwork, you have your organization that you're running, you have a personal life, you have a social life. How are you balancing your time?
Okay, as for most of the stuff, I can share the work. For example, in my organization, I have a national board, the vice president, the secretary. I'm just there as the national president, but literally my vice president does all the work, because to be honest, this year I haven't really done much. I'm facing my exams. I had junior parliament, Zimbabwe United Nations. It was a lot. And then the other thing that keeps me going are very supportive friends.
Yeah.
It also gets boring. You 1 week away from school, you come back, there's a lot of tea, you have to catch up, there's schoolwork. So yeah, my friends are really understanding. Emma and Tiffany, they're really understanding. They fill you in on the tea, they tell you about schoolwork, and I also make it a priority to study ahead. Because I know I travel a lot, and if I don't come back and catch up, it's going to be a storm. So I really study ahead, and I also have very supportive parents. If you just tell my dad, I'm needed somewhere tomorrow, he will make sure you're there by tomorrow. So yeah, it's love and support all the way, and I'm really thankful for that.
That's wonderful. Speaking of exams, you are actually taking your exams right now. So you may be surprised, guys, but the Minister of Justice took some time away from your exams to speak to me.
Yes, I did. It's going well.
It's going well.
Yeah.
And what subjects are you doing?
I'm doing sociology, history, and FRS.
Right. And of your subjects, now we can speak about them in the past tense, because now you're moving on, right? Which one has been like your favorite? Which one has been the most difficult? And which one where you opened up your eyes to the world? Because I know with art subjects, you get your eyes opened up to the world.
Yes, very true. At the beginning of lower 6, I was the best sociology student before it got into confusion, what do you mean? And then I moved on to history. Now history is my favorite. It was because I finished all the history papers.
Okay.
And then there was...
Wait, what do you mean you finished all the history papers?
I wrote them in the same week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there was FRS. I did not do it O level. I started doing it A level. So everything didn't make sense because it's just religious studies. You study Judaism, Islam, and IR, and I'm a Christian. So I'm just
what's going on here?
What's going on? But I've adjusted. I already wrote the indigenous language and Judaism paper. It was fine. I adjusted. You have to meet, especially if you're looking forward to study law, you have to meet everything on the halfway. So I'm just it's just school, claim and go, and it's now okay.
Speaking of the subjects you're doing, I'm sorry, but I'm just curious. Why didn't you do literature in English?
I dropped it. I had 4 subjects, of which lower 6, I was traveling a lot, and sometimes I couldn't catch up, so I just had to concentrate on 3 subjects rather than 4. So I dropped literature because I did not do it again O level, and I was just what?
It was something new.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, literature can be quite difficult if you didn't.
Plus, I'm a very playful student. So if I really look at something, I'm no, I really have to study hard for this one. I'm no. Right. Of which literature really requires you to read a lot. I'm no.
But I think you would have done well, because as a debater, the skills that you use in debating are the ones that you use in English literature. It's just that this time, instead of being oral, it's just written stuff, right?
I didn't like literature. But basically, as subjects are basically the same, you are analyzing through and through. It's all essays, so it's quite the same thing.
All right, now let's talk about being the Minister of Justice. The Junior Minister of Justice is tasked with supporting the Senior Minister in promoting legal awareness, youth advocacy, and ensuring that the voices of young people are heard in matters of justice and governance. How do you, as the Junior Minister of Justice, make sure that your efforts effectively support the protection of students' rights?
Students' rights have always been about me since childhood. I just go for advocacy all the way. And when something happens in Zimbabwe, by the way, I have a really huge page on TikTok. I use that to channel out my voice, tell the world what I want them to know, educate them about their rights, what they're supposed to do. For example, recently there's been advancement in technology. Deaf people can now use AI. I'm still looking for a person who can use sign language when I'm making an awareness about how parents can help their children in school. So basically that's that. I use my social platforms, I use my club to channel out, educate my peers about their children's rights and how they can be used well without abusing them. So yeah.
How big is your following on TikTok?
I have 60.1k followers.
Wow, that is huge. And it's a good thing that you're using your social following, your numbers for good. Because, some people are using theirs too. We're not going to, we listen, we don't judge.
We don't.
But as the Junior Minister of Justice, do you have I wouldn't say personal, but do you have times when you in the same room, or you sitting on opposite end of a table with Minister Ziambi, who's the Minister of Justice and Parliamentary Affairs?
Yes, we did at our inauguration. He had to speak after I presented my speech. He's the one who does my duty, and I had to do it for him that day, and he was impressed. And then we are going to meet soon, but I'm not really sure when, because the senior ministers are always so busy.
They're always somewhere. Okay, let's talk about your inauguration, the one that you just talked about, where you met the president.
Yes.
And then your pictures trended online. Do you know why those pictures were trending?
No.
I also don't know, but I know the pictures were trending.
I also know that too.
Okay. Can you tell us about the main reason for that meeting in Parliament, and what was the purpose behind it? And what did that moment mean for you to meet the president? Because it's a lot of people's wish to meet the president. A lot of people do meet the president, but not up close and personal like you guys did.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, can you just talk to us about that whole moment? Okay,
well, this year's session's motto was planning and budgeting for children's rights progress since 2010. So, children's rights like right to accommodation, food, education. As the government, we have to plan. We have to budget, because we cannot build orphanages out of nowhere. We budget for that. So we're basically talking about how we need to channel more money and funds into education, how we need more funds on supporting orphans and all of that. And the senior ministers came, as well as His Excellency, and we took pictures with him afterwards. So I had to talk to him and remind him, because last year as well I took a picture with him and it didn't trend that much because it was just a handshake. It did trend, but it did not. So when he saw me, he was like, young lady, because last year I was...
Oh, so he remembered you.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
So last year I was the only female in the top 7 ministers. Unlike this year, I'm really happy. A lot of females were campaigning for the presidential seat. But I promise you, next year we're going to have a female child president. I promise.
Will she be the first one, or there has been a female before?
There has been. I think in 2019.
Okay.
Up until now, I'm So last year I was the only female person campaigning for the presidential seat. So I was like, why are you the only lady? I'm like, hello. I was really nervous the first time. So this time we were talking and it was like, oh, what's your name again? I'm like, yeah, I'm Shalom Chiwawa. It's like, nice to meet you again, Minister Ziambi. I'm like, thank you.
So he actually called you Minister Ziambi.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about the presidential seat. You work very closely with the child president, Lionel Mazarire. What is it like working that close with him. And why are you laughing?
It's really funny because he does public speaking and we're in the same province and he's like one of my close friends.
Oh, so you know him like on a personal level.
Yes.
Okay.
So having to work with him on a formal basis, I'm like, for example, when we were receiving our tablets, you know, his VIP, he has to stand in front. I had handshaking. I'm like,
oh, dude,
why are we doing this? So it's fun. And sometimes I find ourselves laughing. I'm like, do we really have to be serious? So yeah, it's really fun working with him.
All right. Now let's talk about your advice to other kids out there who are watching Shalom and they're like, this is something that I might want to try out. This is something that I might want to do. That is being a representative of young people, being a leader, just, you know, being out there and making the big moves. What advice would you give to them?
I don't really know what it really means when people tell me you're my role model because I've been getting that a lot. But yes, I believe you can make it if you just pray and have a vision and stay focused. I would like to say, as a teenager, it's okay to skip tasting alcohol. As a teenager, it's okay to skip tasting vape. And it's also okay as a teenager to skip those fusu parties. It won't hurt. You will not die. Focus on your goals. Always remember what you want to do. And also remember the efforts your parents are putting at the back of your head before you do something. You have to weigh, if my dad finds out, how is he going to feel? Because I'm my dad's princess and hating him, it would break him down. So you really have to think about your parents. And as for the parents who are watching, parental support really takes your child far. Because let's take it for example, you guys invited me here and my dad says, you're writing exams, you can't go. I wouldn't have been here without parental support. True. So support, study your child, know what they want to do with their life. If she says she's into singing, see where it goes, support them. Because on the contrary, if I go to a stranger who realizes I can sing, it might end up on a wrong foot. Child grooming is happening, drug abuse is happening, kids end up making the wrong decisions just because they're trying to improve their career or reach for their dreams behind your back as a parent. So if your child says she's into public speaking, take her to where it's happening, take her everywhere and really support them. It will really take them a long way. Yeah.
Right. You said a lot, spoken like a true public speaker, and I can resonate with a lot of the things that you're saying, you know, parental support, have a passion, have a vision, do not be afraid, pray. That is a lot of important things. You know, at the high school that I went to, our motto was Ora et labora. That means pray and work.
Yes.
So the thing was, we were groomed and trained to just do everything and at the back of your head have prayer in it, right? When all is said and done, what is Shalom Chiwawa going to be remembered for?
As a girl who tried to lead the girl child in the right way in Zimbabwe.
Right, as a girl.
On TikTok, they call me Siswenyika.
Siswenyika. Tichiri Papo, I'd actually forgotten when you mentioned that you want to study law. I was like, I need to speak about this. But then, you know, with you, there's a lot to talk about. So I kind of forgot. But now we just came back that you want to study law. Why law?
I want to advocate, and it's really about how they dress formally, advocate for people, they do public speaking. That's really me. I'm passionate about advocacy, and I want to be on the law branch that deals with child rights and youth rights, youth engagement and all of that. And one day I want to be Minister of Health. Yeah, I'm coming for that post. The Senior Minister of Health.
Okay. And when you talk about law and you have access to so many people, do you know any lawyers? Have you talked to any lawyers and maybe try to find out what that might look like for you? Because very soon your results are going to be out and then you have to do your applications and then you're going to be studying law. Have you had a chance to interact with lawyers and find out what the job is really about?
Yes, I have, but I've spoken to more of social workers, which can be plan B if I decide to drop low, I'm going to do social work. I travel with social workers because as junior parliamentarians, we are really that kind of special group. We don't travel without social workers, security and all of that. So sometimes we sleep with social workers, they deal with children, they have fun, they travel a lot. So I've gotten a chance to speak to some of them how it's like, and they say studying social work is fun, especially if you have done sociology. As for law, they always tell me read. If you
law
can't
is all
read
about the books.
If you can't focus on your books, you will die. So I'm gonna work on that.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not trying to sway you, but I think you do better as a social worker than
I've been told.
Because you're a people person. Like the moment you came into the studio, everyone was like, she's smiling, she lights up the room. And people are just drawn to you, and you have this heart, an open heart that's good for social work. Anyways, I'm rambling. Besides all these titles that you're carrying, school, public speaking, do you have any other things that you love to do? Dancing, music? What kind of social media content are you consuming? What do you watch in your free time? Do you have free time?
For now, I do.
Okay.
I watch Amapiano videos. Shalom is a strictly Amapiano person. Although my TikTok followers say I can't dance on social media, which is really, they expect me to be that,
Serious,
But I would really love to dance on my TikToks though.
Okay.
I did mention in one of my videos that we don't shake our butts, and then they misinterpret. Even if I dance Amapiano, they're just like, we don't shake our butts. I'm like, okay, I want dance. Cause what? But I do dance. People say I can sing, but I cannot sing. And of course, it's more of work, but I enjoy public speaking coaching. Recently, I was coaching. In fact, it's happening today. Unfortunately, I was supposed to be there. I was preparing kids at Happy Tots for their prize-giving graduation day, making their speeches, making sure they're on point. I literally took them from scratch, how to talk, how to stand in front of people. That's what I love doing.
All right.
Though it sounds like work.
Okay, so maybe there is something that you want to talk about that I may not have asked you about. Is there anything you want to add to this conversation?
I think we have exhausted almost everything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shalom, for coming. You're an inspiration. You're a great person overall. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep dreaming big. Go for the stars. Nothing is the limit for you. You're girl power already.
Thank you.
All right. And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching The Genius Kidz. Remember, every Monday at 3 p.m., I bring you The Genius Kidz, where we sit down and talk to these wonderful youngsters who are shaping their future with their extraordinary dreams. And today, it was an honor to sit down with Sisvenyika Shalom Chiwawa. Please do follow her on her TikTok page. What's your TikTok handle?
As Baby Chiwawa or Shalom Chiwawa.
Baby Chiwawa or Shalom Chiwawa. Please follow Shalom, and don't forget to follow the Ola 7 podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so that you never miss an episode. On Tuesday, DJ Ola will be bringing On the Spot. On Wednesdays, Trending Stories with Yaya and DJ Ola. On Thursdays, we have The Spotlight with Yvonne Mangunda. On Fridays, we have Life and Stuff with Nomanais at 3 p.m. And on Sundays, we have the Gen Zs. If you're curious about what the youngsters like Shalom are thinking, then the Gen Z Mic'd Up podcast is for you. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. with Sky Izwi and DJ Safia. Please don't forget to comment, like, and share. For now, it's goodbye.